Welcome back. It's 19 after 5. You're watching Today here on eNCA, channel 403 on DSTV. Now, Mother Nature has left hundreds of people in the Eastern Cape displaced. Heavy rains have not led to flooding in numerous areas, but homes and infrastructure have been damaged. Families have lost literally everything and are now forced to occupy crowded community centers. eNCA's Ronald Masinda is in Gqeberha tracking developments. Let's cross to him now for an update. Ronald, what is the latest right now that you can share with us?
Well, mopping up operations have already started here in Gqeberha. That follows 2 days of heavy rainfall. What we understand is that in areas like Motherwell, people are still at those centers. At least 1,200 people were displaced. They had to be moved swiftly to these centers. And most of the affected have been people who are living inside informal settlements. Road infrastructure has also been affected. We went to areas where there was still a lot of flooding, where cars couldn't move around. And this was attributed to some of the issues with the drainage system, which the Nelson Mandela Bay municipality is also looking into. The extent of the damage and the cost that will be involved is yet not given to us at this stage. But thankfully, we haven't been reporting or heard of any person who lost their lives during the flooding. But what we can say, is that there's more rain expected on Thursday.
Ward Councillor says over 200 people were evacuated from just one ward. Can you confirm this?
Yeah, so well over 200 people, but one of the challenges that people have, not only in the area that we visited, Motherwell, but in other parts such as Walmer and other townships here in Gqeberha, is that the people who were evacuated from these places and the informal settlements, some of them have decided to go back there, even though that it's not in the conducive condition to live in. I mean, we also met an old man who suffered from a stroke, and this old man was crying when we spoke to him, saying that he wanted to go back home because he doesn't know if whether or not his belongings are still there. And those sentiments have been shared by several communities or residents that we spoke to earlier. But the ward council says that they will try to continue monitoring the situation. They are also getting assistance from various other stakeholders. Gift of the Givers was also where we were earlier today. But this is what the ward council had to say further.
About plus minus 250 Ward 54 residents that were evacuated from their homes due to the flooding. We're only receiving the messages on Saturday evening that areas such like NU30, NU29, NU12C are flooded. Early in the morning on Sunday, we established the center, the operations center, to receive all the vulnerable families. Out of those 250, 135 are the people that are situated in social development complex. The situation is at a dire state. Even if you drive around those areas, it's flooded. Even the groceries are damaged, the blankets, the clothes and the furniture. So we decided to call the religious fraternity to accommodate us with their churches. But unfortunately, we couldn't manage to arrange the sleeping arrangement. We decided to arrange the MEC of Social Development to arrange the service center in social development.
Now, Ronald, a little while ago, I was able to speak to the Gift of the Givers, but you've managed to speak to the SA Red Cross. What have they said?
So the SA Red Cross Society says that this is one of the worst rainfalls that they've ever experienced here in Gqeberha, and they say that not only here but in also other parts where they're monitoring in the Eastern Cape, Port St. John's for example. And the concern really now is that what's going to happen on Thursday. The authorities are saying that they are on high alert, but the SA Red Cross is urging a lot more help for communities that could be affected. And one would say that, one must be careful what they wish for, because this has been an area that has been drought-stricken for many years. In fact, the dam levels have been at their lowest since 1983, and people have been hoping and praying for rain. But unfortunately for some, it came in abundance. It came with losses. Children couldn't go to school because their belongings are wet. People also losing their IDs and very important documents during the rainfall. But this is what one of the representatives of the SA Red Cross Society had to say.
These are amongst the worst ones in Gqeberha. And then, the people are here today in the place of safety, but there's a lot of people that went back to their homes. You saw how wet the homes were. They are wet, and people don't want to leave their homes because of their belongings. Yesterday, we are at the place of safety today. Yesterday, we've done assessments over the weekend, but yesterday there were 200 people here in Motherwell displaced. But today, there's about 115 people here. The people lost their belongings. They've lost, their mattresses are wet, their bedding is wet, their clothes is washed away, the children's books and stuff for school is washed away. So we are here today to do an assessment of everything.
That was Ronald Masinda on the ground to us live in Gqeberha, following those events as they unfold, and as far as the floods go in that province. Still to come.